Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
All right, it's 3 o'clock. We're going to call the Pollyant Trailway Management Council meeting to order. Pay respects to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Donnie, will you lead us in invocation, please?
Thank you, God, for this beautiful fall weather and brilliant colors, especially on our Pollyant Trail. Please give us wisdom as we deliberate. Please watch over our manager and communities, state and country. And please give us all the needed rest as this year comes to a close so we can be able to take on 2020. And this we pray in your son's name. Amen.
Thank you. Okay. First thing on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Any changes, corrections, additions, deletions? If not, a motion is in order to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner McDonald, second by Commissioner Sent to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Oh, okay, yeah. I moved ahead here. We need a roll call for the attendance.
Okay. Bruce Pearson.
Here.
Eric Sent.
Here.
Donnie Steele.
Here.
Aaron Watley, absent. Elgin Nichols here. Curtis Wright.
Here.
Mike McDonald.
Present.
Joe Frost, absent. Linda Moran.
Here.
Kevin Green.
Here.
Have quorum.
Okay, go back on track here. Next up is the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda for the minutes? Linda, I'll let you explain the Pollyant Trail event that you scheduled.
Well, I actually have a couple of them. The Not So Spooky Night with the Bats on the Pollyant Trail. Brain Balance came to me about a week and a half ago and said, hey, we'd like to do something for the Pollyant Trail. We have Sarah, who is a certified bat person, I don't even know what you call it, and she has to have community service hours. Is it okay if we go together, have a limit of 40 people, we supply donut and cider, we start at the Oxford Library, and we go out on the Pollyant Trail, walk out there to the observation dock, and call in the bats. And I said, that is absolutely fabulous. So I said yes, and I said, oh, I better check with Curtis in the council. And Curtis said, well, it's kind of too late. And I said, well, let's cancel anyway. It's really going to be fun, so come on out. I did check with Keith Potter, our insurance agent. I did talk with Brian at the library. We're all squared there for the 22nd from 6 to 7:30. I let Parks and Rec know they're totally fine. Our insurance agent, Keith, put them on as a concerned party because we are going to be walking through part of the Parks and Rec section to get down to the Pollyant Trail from the library. Flashlights are encouraged, and I think it's going to be a really good time. I think it's going to be awesome. I have little tea lights I'm going to put out there to kind of light the way, and it's going to be really kind of cool. As of yesterday, we had 24 people RSVP'd, so it's going to be really nice.
You limited it to 40, you said?
Yeah, it's manageable, and you don't want a lot of people out there. If we open it up to whomever, we could have 100 people out there, and we kind of want to keep it under control.
Where's it going to be located?
It's going to start at the library. Sarah's going to do a little 20-minute presentation about why bats are important to our environment, and then we're going to go out onto the trail that goes down through the Parks and Rec area behind the library, down to the Pollyant Trail, to the observation dock. And then we're going to stand at the observation dock and call in the bats. She has a little locator device that you can tell by their clicks what type of bat it is. So there's 5 or 6 different kinds of bats that are out and about. So hopefully we can get a sighting and see several of the bats.
All right, any questions for Glenda on that event? Anything on the bills to be paid?
Nope.
Is there a charge to participate in the event?
Nope, it's absolutely free. So come out, there's gluten-free donuts, regular donuts, and apple cider. Oh, there'll be regular donuts. Don't worry, Mike, you can come out and have some real donuts. And the apple cider, it's all free. Brain Balance is providing all of the refreshments. And I think it's going to be a really good event. So get the little kitties
You'll
out.
give us an update, right, Linda?
I'll give you an update. I'll take pictures. It's going to be great.
Connie?
I just make a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the minutes And I'd like to say thank Elgin for doing the minutes so well. And the not so spooky night, the bills to be paid in $2,332.35, and the financial reports, and thank Joe for his effort in all the financials.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and second. Approve the consent agenda. Roll call, please.
Bruce Pearson.
Yes.
Eric Sent.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Karen Watley, absent. Bruce Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent.
Okay, the motion carries. Public comment, no public is present. On to Kevin for the citizen rep report. Anything to mention?
I just wanted to bring up one thing. I don't know who might have seen this. This is the Lakefront magazine, and there's an article here called 50 Trails. I'll pass this down so you can see it. And a couple pages into it, there's a real nice picture of
Oh, no.
Linda, the trail sign. I highlighted a couple things that deal with the trail, so you might want to just take a quick read, and congrats to Linda for making it.
I'm telling you, I gotta start combing my hair more often or something.
It's a good picture, good information.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's awesome. I didn't
Yeah, I don't
know.
see any volunteers here. She scared them all away.
Listen, and I told Curtis this yesterday, I never work a volunteer harder than I work myself, except for you,
She did
Bruce.
say that. That's really good.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
All right, with that, Linda, info,
right.
you're on.
I'm on the docket. All right, we'll start off with the vertical cut. It's been completed, it was done Monday and Tuesday, and I gotta tell you, I'm exceedingly happy with the results. We attempt to mow 3 feet off the trail on either side per our DNR contract. Scott, in some areas, did 5-ish feet on either side. So he's able to keep the vines from encroaching on that 3-foot mow. And it is also really good for spreading those wildflowers. This year we had an unbelievable amount of milkweed, Indian paintbrushes, I don't actually know the real name, bee balm, and asters. I saw more butterfly larvae in sections of the trail than I've ever seen in my entire life. So whatever we're doing is really helping the wildlife as far as I see more turtle activity, I am seeing more butterfly activity. There you go. It's actually really looking good. By the time April rolls around, everything will be back and we'll be fighting back the weeds again. And just to try to keep that 3 feet mowed. We've been mowing it, looks great. It's fabulous. Wood trail was repaired, and I wanted to thank the Oxford Parks and Rec Department, Ron Davis, Jeff, Keith, Miles, Brian, all of them. They were out there all day. They are the sweetest, nicest, most wonderful human beings I've ever seen. I mean, they are just, I can't say enough good things about Oxford Township Parks and Rec. They're awesome. They went out yesterday, they fixed it, it's beautiful. We need a little rain to settle the top material. We're good. I did contact Nikki Van Bloom. She is going to come out sometime next week. She's going to take a look at it and kind of do a little trail review. So that's going to be awesome. The Leonard Pit toilet is finished, except for we're going to be installing a new light and hopefully a new sign. Thank you, Mike and Bruce. They were out there for like 3 weeks in the blazing sun, and
With no water.
no water.
Wasn't there water in the waters?
No, that was a pump. So they were out there slaving like dogs, and every time I come by, Bruce was like, on top of a ladder, hanging precariously. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. My husband did buy an LED light for the outside, so we're gonna mount that, and we'll get that sign up. It's gonna be top notch. Signs, I have several requests for signs to be purchased. I did, I think I've covered everything. Signs for between the Joslyn and Indianwood corridor, the safety path. Some more wayfinder signs that way so people know where they are and where they're going to connect to the other side of the Pollyant Trail. Also a sign for the pit toilet, but also a sponsorship sign for Clarkston Road that includes our Iron Bell. Thank you for our Iron Bell Bike Fix-It station that we have at Clarkston Road. I did get 2 quotes. Lake Orion Printing was $370, Print Boys was $411.20 for all of the signs, done and out the door. So I think we'll probably, if you okay it, we'll go with Lake Orion Printing. They do a great job, and they've done tons of signs for us. Master plan, 5-year plan. Kristen Wolfing and I are working dedicatedly on it. We are now at the point where we need to have community input meetings. I have scheduled 2. Addison Township, November 7th at 6 p.m. at the library, and Orion Library, November 4th at 6 p.m. So we're going to put that in the newspaper if that's agreeable to everybody. We'll have the public come out. We can do we'll do a little speech and presentation to people who are interested in our master plan. Kristen said we only needed 1 of those meetings, but I've decided to push through and do 2. I think, both ends of the trail. I think that's good. I kind of wanted to have one in Oxford, but the Oxford Township Library won't allow that sort of activity, so they've denied the request. So we'll stick with 2. So we'll put that on the agenda. We'll put that on the website, Facebook, and sort of.
So November 4th and November 7th?
November 4th and November 7th.
And the 4th is where?
That is in Orion Township Library, and Addison is November 7th. I kind of wanted to have
What time?
at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7.
And we're at Addison,
The what?
we're in Addison.
Addison at the library, right out in front. Yeah, if you just kind of go right out there. I don't know if they have a real meeting room or if we're just going to kind of be hanging out at the librarian, but either way, it's going to be great.
Donnie, you have a question?
How's the survey going?
We've been getting a lot of feedback. I won't know the results until the results come through. But, a lot of people have been, sending me messages saying, hey, I voted, I did my thing, and I'm real happy. And I keep telling everybody to push for a toilet in Orion.
We're not siding it, though.
No.
Yeah. You guys can't vote.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're moving forward. Now we have to work on getting a shareholders meeting, which, we'll be working with that. So I'll get with Curtis and we'll figure out a shareholders meeting. It'll be an invitation-only type meeting to basically, give your feedback on what we need to do and where we need to go as far as the 5-year plan is concerned. Prickles and Swan, I saw him today. He's doing just fine. Family's still out there at Lake George. Arrangements have been made, so we're just kind of waiting for the family to move out. I did send registered return receipt request letters to homeowners on the north and south side of the trail. One of the homeowners, Lynn, did call me, and she's all excited about the rescue. In fact, when the rescue takes place, she would like to be called. She'd like to come out and watch the activity, and she's graciously offered to let us park in her parking in the driveways if we need the extra space. So, she's real excited about it. Let's see, for our Polly and Trail event request, we have the Bat Walk. Also, just a little note to anybody who would like to. Pauline, and I never say her last name right, Blanca, is going to be in town on October 26th at noon. And she is going to be up at the trailhead, and we're going to go up there and take a little photograph with her with the new sign on the well house that basically is a thank you for her and her husband George's effort and help with the trail. So we got a little sign on the well house. It's quite nice. We'll have the new sign for the pit toilet up, the new lights. We'll have it kind of shushed up there. And she's going to be up there at noon, and she's real happy. I did talk to Ed Brakefield. He's going to be in attendance. I did talk to Larry. He's going to come up and see her. So it's going to be very nice for her. We're going to do a little nice thing for her. Clear Lake, the elementary kids, they have adopted the section of the trail, the Pollyant Trail, just north of Drainer. They are going to be doing a walk in nature walk on October 24th, and I'm going to go join them and kind of point out some of the good stuff we have going on the trail, some invasive species and that sort of thing. Indian Trail Bridge, I did look at it with Nick and a couple of other folks, and I think we can fix it. To have somebody contract to do it, it'd be about $10,000. I did get some price quotes and material, and doing the retaining walls that we need on the south side, we're looking at about $1,079, and I think I can get it under $1,000. That's my goal. So I think we can do it, and get the retaining wall done. There's a lot of erosion over there because people keep going down to the stream that's underneath the bridge. Iron Bell Fix-It Station is completed at Clarkston Road. The Lake Orion Sunrise Rotary Club did it, and they did a great job. So once we get our sponsorship signed up for the Iron Bell, we'll submit our grant for reimbursement. Bob, Kip, and Mr. Chipper are working away. They are now at Lake George, and they'll be crossing over to Lake George, and they'll start working on getting rid of the invasive species and cleaning up the trail section there, working their way towards Leonard. Status of trail, everything is going great. I hate to say that, because as soon as I say it, something really bad's gonna happen. I'm wrapping up a lot of the big projects. Nick has been just coming out Mondays and Tuesdays and working with me on getting so much work done. I can't even tell you. He's been a godsend to me, absolutely a godsend. He works like a dog, and he'll call up and say, hey, I know you're not working today, but can I take the mower out? Yeah. And he'll mow for 10 hours. He's a great guy, and fix equipment. He does just about anything. So we're getting a lot of work done. We're getting a lot of stuff on the trail. It's looking really good. So that's it for the trail manager's report. Any questions, concerns?
Anything for Linda? All right, Linda, as always,
All right.
nice work on the trail.
All right.
All right, moving on, new business, purchase of request for new signs. Linda, you indicated that you had 2 quotes on those.
I do. For the signs, I have $370 for Lake Orion Printing. I have $411.20 from Print Boys. We have ordered signs from both of these organizations. They both do good work, and they're fast and effective.
So you're recommending the low price?
Lower price, yeah, because they're both fabulous,
Okay.
so.
Because when I put the packet together, we didn't know when they were.
We didn't have the
discussed,
price,
so
yeah.
I threw a price in there of $1,200, not knowing what the bids were, but she brought those back later. What's the amount on that, Linda? $370 and
$370 even.
even?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's the maximum design cost, so it may come in a little less.
And that's, what is that, Lake Orion
Lake Orion Printing and Design,
Printing and
down on
Design?
Joslyn Road.
Where is Print Boys located?
On Joslyn Road, about another half a mile further south of Lake Orion Printing and Design. So they're right on the same stretch. And they're great people to work with, and they do good work, so. And that should cover us for all our signs. That's our sponsor signs, that's our plaque for the toilet, that's our Indianwood Joslyn connection. It's a lot of signs.
Sign posts.
A lot of this is going to be attached to existing posts,
Okay.
existing fence, existing material. So we shouldn't have much in the way of
Okay.
installation, just hanging. So I think it'll be really good.
How many signs do you plan to get out of this, Linda?
I'm
How
sorry?
many signs do you plan to get out of this?
This is going to be, let's see, 10 by 12 signs and one 24 by 48 inch sign. So we've got 11 signs. It's going to be, that's 11 signs. That's almost a full sheet of metal. So it should get us to where we need to be, at least for today.
Sure.
Always signs.
I'd like to offer a motion to purchase, did you include one in the packet?
There's a motion in the packet, but it doesn't have Lake Orion Printing and Design
Okay.
or the $370.
Yeah, I just
You
got
got to
this
ever
like
change the
yesterday.
numbers in the...
I'd like to move to approve the amount of $370 for the purchase of the signs from Lake Orion Printing. The expense to the account noted on the 298-853-933.664 equipment and hardware.
Support. Okay, motion by
McDonald.
McDonald, second by Nichols, to approve the purchase of new signs. Roll call on this, please.
Bruce Pearson.
Yes.
Eric Sent.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Watley, absent. Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent. Carries.
Okay, that motion carries.
I have a question. You
Yeah.
referred to someone helping you by the name of Nick?
Yes.
Who is Nick?
Nick is a gentleman that kind of came to me different ways, and he's offered his assistance. He works second shift, so he's free during the mornings on Mondays and Tuesdays. His wife works, kids go to school, so he said,
This is
"Hey."
a volunteer?
He's a volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah. And he is just, I'm telling you, he's smart, he's personable, he's enjoyable to be around. And we just work like crazy. I mean, I've never seen a guy mow with such intensity.
Donnie?
Just kind of off, can we send a thank you note to Nick and the Rotary for
Yes.
their help?
Yes. And I was also going to reference them on our sponsor sign. Everybody that's really helped over on that Clarkston Road, I'm going to put like the Lake Orion Sunrise Rotary on, thank you. And yeah,
Did they physically come out and help, or did they?
I gave Barkley, I gave him the fix-it station, he put it in his car, he took it away. They went out, they dug the area out, they laid the cement, they installed it. I didn't even have to think about it. It was fabulous. And they're great. I mean, they really helped me out a lot, you know, and they did a really nice job over there. Everybody loves it over there. And somebody said, these are a great idea, why don't we have more of these? And I'm like, this is the 4th one on the trail. And they're like, really, where are they? So, you know, I'm like, oh, we got one here, we got one there, and, you know, we've got them in different places. And everybody loves the idea, loves the concept. So, and they get a lot of use. I mean, you know, a lot of use.
Okay, last item on our agenda is unfinished business, this evening trail bridge repairs. Linda mentioned that, she's got the cost down to $1,079 if council wants her to do the repairs.
The repair itself, to bid it out, would be $10,000 or more, just to repair that one side of the railing. Nick and I took a look at it, Mark went over there, we measured, we can do it. I have WAM out every Sunday now until almost the end of November, the third week in November. So my plan is on this Sunday, if we get approval, is to actually have WAM come out. We'll clear all the brush around the trail, or around the bridge away. We will install retaining walls. I'm going to have 5 yards of 21 AA limestone dropped. We're going to put in the retaining walls. That side I've been fighting a lot of erosion. People like to go down to the stream with their dogs, their kids, whatever. We have to be a little more aggressive with the repair on it. It's really getting worn. Get that repaired. Then, once that's repaired, the brush is all cleared away. Then probably Monday and Tuesday, remove that railing as much as we can. The following Sunday, WAM comes out, we'll have all the materials on site and put it back together. And then if it's not complete, the following Monday, Tuesday, Nick and I and a couple of other volunteers are going to go out there and we're going to finish it up. So we can bring it in at about, you know, I'm hoping to keep it at $1,000. The price of the materials came out at $1,079. I do have some material in the storage area that we can use. So I'm going to use what I've got, and I'm going to try and bring it in under 1,000. So
what do you need so you don't have to come back to us for additional monies?
1,080.
1,080.
And if I bring it under, I'll bring it under.
Mike, go ahead.
Just reassure us, there's no structural repairs needed to the supporting structure of the trail. It's strictly the handrails that have been vandalized that we have to address.
Yeah.
You got PowerPoint for this?
Yes. Would you like to see? I have PowerPoint. Joe, you need to read PowerPoint for me.
Read it.
All right, let's see. There we go. And we have, we're going to start with our vertical cut. Come on. Of course, that won't work. There we go. We'll start with our vertical cut. You tell me, this is looking north from Indian Wood Road towards the Indian Trail Bridge. You tell me which one of these is the vertical cut and which of them.
Can you blow it up, Linda?
No, that's as big.
That's it?
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
we're kind of far away.
Which is the vertical cut, which is what?
Which is the regular 3-foot cut. I took one the day before they did the vertical cut, and I took one the day after they did the vertical cut.
The right one's a vertical cut. No?
Nope. Nope. The left one is after they did the vertical cut. So you can see that they're not tearing down trees, they're not being overly aggressive, they're just mowing the grass to keep it at bay. The next one we have here, all right, now it's kind of a cheat. This is the same view, and you can kind of tell this is again looking towards Indian Wood, the other direction. You can see on the left, we've done the vertical cut. We haven't cut down any brush, any trees, just the vines, some of the autumn olive that creeps in. And on the right side is before the vertical cut, the day before they came through and did the cut. There is not much difference. I mean, the grass is mowed. It's an aggressive mow. It's like when in the fall you go in and you mow the leaves. Let's see, this is Addison Township. This is, Boardman is, I'm standing at Boardman, we're looking south towards Leonard. This is Boardman. This is probably the nicest Boardman's looked, I can't even tell you how much. It's just, I've been spending a lot of time up at Boardman, and it is looking really nice. Let's see. Oh, no. This is one of my favorite spots on the trail. This is looking towards Boardman Road. This is the tunnel of trees that are up there. This is after the vertical cut. They did a really nice job. There's not a lot of debris because we're keeping after it. We did a lot of trimming this summer, but not to the point where you still don't have the tunnel effect. I like the tunnel effect, especially up like in Addison, we have a lot more of the larger trees. Orion has a lot of the large trees, so we try to keep that. Between Clarkson Road and Drainer, it's a little more sparse because we're running under the ITC tower line, or the power lines. And ITC comes in every couple of years and just destroys it in there. I mean, they take everything out. But again, then you have more of a prairie-like feel. It's more of an open prairie, you have a lot more birds, you have a lot more wildlife, butterflies, etc. This is Wood Trail. This is the guardrail that they put up, and this is the material they put down. They used an old guardrail that they got from the road commission that was damaged in a car accident and scavenged it. Pauline Trail bought the post and the wood and the surface material, and they installed it. It really looks good. This is the back side where they reinforced the berm that was like that slip and slide. We had a slip and slide situation where it was eroding down into that culvert to the Paint Creek headwaters down there. So they reinforced it, and you can see how they've actually backfilled it. So hopefully the drainage will be such that we won't have any more erosion on that side. But I'll keep my eye on it. Our bollard. We have a lovely bollard that is cemented into the ground now. We were having a problem with the neighbors that are directly across from this entrance, ATVs and mini bikes. The kids are kind of left to their own devices, so they were constantly cutting through here. Hopefully this will stop it somewhat, at least for a minute, hopefully.
Where, Linda?
This is right on Wood Trail.
Wood Trail.
Yeah. And this is our fix-it station. Ta-da! Fix-it station. This is our dedication at the well house. It's really hard to see. And this is our bat house. And I guess I don't have any of Wood Trail or Indian Trail. And that's Ethan with his bat house he installed. And I guess I don't have any of mine. I have them on my phone if anybody wants to see. But, so that's.
No, we've got bridge repair.
Yeah, for the.
photos.
Didn't you have some photos before in the previous meeting? I remember seeing that.
You want, let me take a look.
Yeah, because in the previous meeting, we were
Yeah.
supplied photos
Yes.
of the damage. Yeah.
Let's see. Bruce, you need some electronic devices here.
She's talking to you.
We're on a limited budget here.
We're not.
Can't take it with you, Bruce.
That's right. Get the
What's
ones
that?
We're open for donation.
All right, here we go. Indian Bridge. As you can see, around, that is a old railroad tie, and they've actually made a box around it. The box is only like 3/4 of an inch thick, and it was not pressure-treated lumber, so it has actually rotted away. The railroad tie, I'm hoping is sound. If not, then I'm going to use 8x8, timbers, basically, wood pressure-treated. We'll replace those, and then we're going to put a box, and the box is going to be, 2 inches, 2x10s. So we're going to replace it with that. And then the railing, this is the west side. I've replaced the railing. I intend on doing that on the east side that is actually damaged. The east side's the one that's damaged. Let's see. I'm finding it.
Are you going to use 2x dimensional, I mean, are we
Yeah.
putting any 1x up there?
No.
Nothing thin, I mean,
No.
I'm just
No.
thinking we need it to be beefy so that
Yeah.
it's not gonna stop them, but it sure slow things down, I think.
Well, right now what we have is the 1/2 inch, 1 inch, you know,
Yeah.
2x2s, and I mean, it's like, I'm not putting anything in there that an elephant couldn't stand on and not break.
Okay,
You
thank
know,
you.
so I got 8-inch lag bolts that are gonna go in, and I got like 42 of them, and 10 pounds in screws. And this was all put together with nails. Anytime you go over there and you see any screws in there, that's because I've gone through and had to either repair it and use screws. It was all put together with nails. Yeah, so we're gonna.
Okay, we'll need a motion to approve some monies for Linda if we want this bridge to be repaired. Anybody want to make a motion?
I move to approve an amount of $1,080 for the purpose of repairing the bridge over the Paint Creek identified as the Indian Trail Bridge. This $1,080 amount is to be expensed to account 298-853-932.000, maintenance of grounds.
Second.
Okay, motion by Nichols, second by Semp, to approve expenditures to repair the so-called Indian Trail Bridge. Roll call, please, or unless there's comments. Any comments? All right. Roll call, please.
Joe Frost absent. Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Watley, absent. Bruce Pearson.
Yes.
Eric Sent.
Yes.
Passed.
Okay, that motion carries. That finishes up business. Public comment. Mr. Medora, anything to offer to the council?
No, just first time coming to Addison Township. I like the building. Nice. It took me a little longer to get
Welcome to
here.
God's country.
Hey, I'm familiar with this.
We all work in Oxford, but we come home to God's country.
And I know Mr. Frost couldn't make it today, but that's part of the reason I wanted to attend.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with Donnie. Any,
My comment would be, Linda, thanks for tying all these loose ends with these projects. I think that you've done a great job, and we're coming near the end of the year, and next year should not be as hectic. So, thank you for that, and that we're still working on our special project, and we should have some kind of feedback to share at the next meeting.
Cool.
Eric?
No comment. Everything's going good.
None here.
Bruce?
Well, I will say, Mike and I working on that restroom for the last 8 months or however long we were really surprised by how many people are using the trail. Even during the middle of the week, there were people pulling, it was a constant flow of people and a constant flow of people going up and down the trail. Nobody offered to help us, but everybody was always interested in what we were doing. But we were really surprised at how many people we got to talk to, and they couldn't believe that the village president and the township supervisor were the ones delegated to work on it. But I said, that's our job. And we do gutters too.
And did you say, have you ever met the trail manager? She's mean.
Yeah, I said, we gotta keep working, we don't have time to talk, she'll be here any minute.
We did use that a couple times.
But I will say, it was a pleasure just seeing all the people there. And I have to say, you know, in our farm, you know, at one time, I could look right out and nobody used the trail. I mean, back, you know, we're talking back in 20 years ago, even though the trail was there, it just wasn't being used. Now, it's absolutely being used. So we were amazed.
Parks and Rec, when they were out there yesterday doing the trail repair, they were amazed at the number of people at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning that were out there. And even Nikki Van Bloom, our DNR person, was out there on a Tuesday, and she goes, this is unbelievable. I said, just in the last couple of years, you know, we promoted ourselves, we've cleaned up the trail, we've put in amenities, we've announced our amenities, we've really worked very diligently on upgrading ourselves. The amount of people on the trail is quadrupled. I mean, it's amazing to me how it's just exploded. And, you know, I'm always out there. I love talking to people, you know, what do you like, what don't you like? You know, give me a call. And I get a lot of calls about a lot of different things. And it's kind of nice. It's nice. So,
Let me just interject something. You talk about all the people using the trail. Do we have any formal or informal way of tracking what the traffic is?
I kind of can get a rough idea watching our cameras, because we have cameras in
That's what I was
the
alluding
parking
to.
lots.
Utilize cameras
Yeah.
to estimate.
The last count, I think we had, 900 people a month just at Leonard that we could count. That wasn't the people that weren't being, there were a lot of people not being captured on camera or come in a different way. That was 900 people. I mean, there's 900 people in Leonard is amazing, you know, I mean.
That's my point.
you know.
Maybe you have, in the future, have a metric that kind of keeps track, different areas, you know, where we have cameras as to what
Yeah.
the usage is.
We
A suggestion.
Yeah, we can rent things from Oakland County. They're exceedingly expensive. They're almost like a counter. They have those available, but you don't capture everybody. And they're very expensive to use and rent, but,
Okay.
you know.
Does the Paint Creek Trail do anything like that?
I think that the way that they do it is when they do their survey,
Yeah.
when they do the master plan, and Michigan State University is who that they had interns that did that part of the study, and then they calculated based on how many people passed on certain days, and then they had that, but they did not have Michigan State University to be able to help them with their master plan this year to be able to do that.
It's just
So that was.
Mike, any comments?
Happy Halloween to everybody, and also, we give Linda a lot of credit for what's happening, and she's rightfully deserves it, but the Trail Council has been working exceedingly well, and I credit our chair and the officers and the rest of us for getting to the meetings and keeping an eye on things in our home communities, and it makes all the difference in the world. It really does. So that's my opinion.
Kevin, anything to offer?
No, I'm good.
All right. Next month's meeting will be our last meeting of the year plan, so it will be a longer meeting. We have budget amendments, 2020 budget to go over, so that's a couple things. So just want to make that just additional thank you to Bruce and to Mike for their efforts on that Nutter pit toilet.
That's quite an honor to say that, you know, we fixed a pit toilet.
And I must apologize to Mike and Bruce that apparently Turner Sanitation has a thing by my name that says, when this woman calls, you get out there immediately. Because I called and they said, oh, we'll have somebody out there, you know, this week. And I said, well, later this week, that's fine. Yeah, I'm telling you, within an hour, the guy was pumping that toilet.
Yeah,
And
he
they were
ran us
working.
right out.
Yeah, it was bad. That was the only negative.
I do
of the whole
apologize.
thing.
I'm telling you, and, you know, and you know what it was, is I requested a person I know. So I said, I want Bob
He
out
said,
there.
no, Linda wanted me to be here to do this to you guys. That's what we.
No, they said the end of the week, and and I'm telling you, it wasn't even an hour. I get a text, and it's like, what?
Yeah. And Mike said, I'm not coming back to it rain really hard.
And I do apologize, but it was scheduled for after you guys would be done, but, hey, they came out, I called, and they said, let's get on it. So they were out, and they took care of business, and, Turner Sanitation, man, they're great. I mean, they take care of it.
One last thing before we adjourn, unless there's more from the council, is the Rotary Club was going to originally put a park, wanted to partner with the park. They've since changed their mind, and Linda's been in touch with the librarian.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian did come up to me. I stopped in the library. They've decided to partner with Oxford Parks and Rec. Oxford Parks and Rec are building a play park next to the library on Parks property. So Brian was very apologetic, but they've decided that, they just couldn't get things rolling, fast enough or, around what they needed to do. So they did partner with Parks and Rec. So they are going that way. Brian did offer support in other fashions, discussed later. He didn't have any ideas, but, they want to do something for the Pollyant. They just don't know what, when, but it won't be a park as we kind of had hoped in the past. But, hey, a park is a park no matter where it goes, It's, It'll be nice. It'll be really nice. So,
Okay, if there's nothing further, a motion for adjournment is in order.
Second.
Motion by Gill, second by Pearson to adjourn the meeting at 3:41.
Wow, record.
I'm telling you, Bruce put it
Signify by
down,
saying
man.
aye.
He said, we
Aye.
got
Aye.
It's the room.
Aye.
It's the room.